So the question from Chris is, do you think that going forward, audience reach and community is more valuable than skill and experience? Because AI levels the playing field. And I said, yep, you betcha. Information is commoditized, so it will continue to be commoditized. And so it's going to be about the personal brand and the community. And we've already seen this trend ever since Google and the internet, and we already live in the age of the personal brand, and it will continue to be in the age, shut the fuck up. We will continue to be in the age of the personal brand. And I was just telling this to Kruger the other day, that my career is that. It's the personal brand way. And as we've all seen so many people online in recent years starting their own YouTube channels, whether it's an athlete or a CEO or an actor, we can go direct to the audience and build that personal brand for the long term. And so for me, and for a lot of people, that's the dream. Just make money being you, living your life, answering questions. And so with AI coming into the picture, yes, there will be AI influencers. There will be AI companies, products, services, but the human to human will never go away. There are going to be great AI influencers that are super funny, super useful. And some AI influencers, actually a lot of AI influencers are going to be better than a lot of human influencers. We are coming into this age where, I was just explaining this to my dad the other day and blowing his mind. We are essentially creating a new species right now. The story of AI, coming from a science fan, and I happen to have a degree in science and molecular bioscience and a fan of evolution. We have reached the era, the next phase of evolution that humans, what we've done with AI is we have learned how to duplicate ourselves artificially. And what do we call it? We call it artificial intelligence. Why do we call it that? Because that's what it is. It's artificial intelligence. And just yesterday, as I'm here in Austin for a few weeks visiting Dave, my business partner at my agency, I just had my first real experience with an AI robot. My first real encounter with an AI robot. And that was in the form of a driverless car. I got into an Uber, there was no driver, and artificial intelligence drove me around.
Let's go. All right, second Uber of the day, and this one happens to be a Waymo. I was hoping this would happen. Car should unlock automatically. Afternoon, Riley. Oh God, I'm pumped. I mean, this is a milestone moment. First ever time in a driverless car, and it's not going to be the last.
From Waymo, as we get going, just give us 1 minute to cover a few riding.
Look at that.
This experience may feel futuristic.
Look at that.
The need to buckle up is the same as always.
And so as I said in the thing, first driverless car experience. It's not going to be the last. This is only the very, very beginning. And so, anyways, right now I'm going to head to the sauna, and I just thought I would ask that question, answer that question real quick. This will be a vlogcast, day in the life of Riley. So I thought I would just tour this Airbnb. Why not? Do a couple rants, show you a couple of my gear, my new gear. Let me show you where I am. This is downtown Austin. That is the Google building, supposedly. And you have the river over there. And then downtown you have just a bunch of high rises. And you have the freeway. And then I'm going over there in East Austin, where the gym is. This is the Airbnb. So this is $200 a night. Whoa. This is $200 a night on Airbnb. So this is what you're looking at, around the $200 a night-ish range. So for 7 days, it was like $1,300 or something. Not bad. I think this is super sweet. And it's a 1-bedroom. We got the bedroom right here, and we have the bathroom right here, and we have the entrance right here. It's got a washer and dryer, all that. And let me show you a couple of the things that I travel with and a couple of things that I just got. So MacBook, so I just got a brand new MacBook Air. Look how thin that is. This is the M4, and my previous laptop was the M1. Got that in 2019? So it's been about 6 years since the original M1 MacBook Air, which has been amazing. But it got to a point where just to open up a video file, a 4K video file, and play it, QuickTime would crash. So it can't even preview video files. And so as cameras get more and more 4K and 8K and all that shit, and 360 camera, like I want to get like a 360 camera and edit 360 videos, you're gonna need a super souped up computer. You don't want no lagging. You don't want no crashing. And so I souped this one to the max. So the previous laptop was 8 gigs of RAM. This is fully maxed out, 32 gigs of RAM. Previous was 500 gigs of storage. This is fully maxed out, 2 terabytes of storage. 32 gigs RAM, 2 terabytes storage, fully maxed out, future-proofed, AI future-proofed. Because as we know, when Apple launches their full-blown Apple Intelligence, you're going to want to have a lot of compute on your computer. And so I was like, obviously, none of us needs a new laptop, right? Obviously, it's a luxury. It's a powerful tool. But anyways, stoked about that. And then I just got this new podcast mic and this new thing. So probably 7 years ago, I got the H7 little recorder thing. It's about the size of a phone, but that broke. It broke. Anyway, so I was looking for a new thing. This is the Rode Caster Duo, which means it's meant for 2-person podcasts. You can actually do up to 4 people, but so yeah, this has the compression and all that built in, and then you can use it for video podcasts. Switch the video screen recording. It's got these hot button cues for various things. And then I copped 2 of the mics. So this is 500. These are 200. These are the mics that, the Rode mics that go with it. Got 2 of them, other ones over there. And then, what else? So when I was home for the month of July, I tried out various sunflower seeds on Amazon, and I landed on these Chinook seeds. They're not too salty. So I bought a huge pack of them, and I'm now traveling with those. This is also a must. This is the Moft laptop stand, and you put it onto the bottom of your computer. I haven't stuck it on yet, but it allows it to like stand up. So I've had one on my old laptop for years and years, and it's one of the most crucial things. These are like $40. It adhesive sticks to the bottom of your MacBook. Highly recommend that. Other thing I got was these Element electrolyte packets. Thought I'd try them on Amazon. They are very delicious, and they are slightly salty, and so they're very, very quenching after a sauna or something, or while you're playing sports. And the flavors are really good. They even have a chili mango, which is slightly spicy. So for years I've been traveling with Zip Fizz, which is these. I still have Zip Fizz. These are good before or after meals because it has tons of B12. But for the electrolytes with sports or sauna, that's really good. So I will just have a nice cold water, pour it into one of these, and then pop that into my Max Sack. I've had this going for many years. Order a hard sleeve for your MacBook, so you just slip your MacBook in there. Boom, travel around like that. This is my roll-up long sleeve. I call it a Starbucks long sleeve because it's quite chilly inside of Starbucks. So if I'm working in a cafe that has really cold AC, you pop that on. Another thing that I'm actually traveling with, or that I just bought a big bag of, nuts. Big nuts guy, wegotnuts.com. This is on Amazon, and I like this because it is no peanuts and it is unsalted. And I've found, like, I'm not a big breakfast guy. If I just do like a little handful of these in the morning with your coffee or whatever vitamins you take, then that kind of, you don't want to take vitamins on an empty stomach, but just boop, handful of little nuts. It's very satisfying and satiating little tip. So I'm gonna see if I can get another Waymo. If it's not a Waymo, I'm just gonna maybe walk. All right, so this Uber ride is $12.95 on my Amex Platinum card. Come on, Waymo. So it was on my second Uber of the day yesterday that I got a Waymo. No. Cancel. This is the condo Airbnb. It's called Nativo. And I just walked outside, and they got plenty of e-scooters around here. And figure I might as well talk about AI some more. And I'm gonna explain it to you the way I was explaining it to my dad the other day. And the big picture of what is going on and where we are headed and what I think the future is going to be like. So the way that I think about AI, fully zoomed out, is we are entering the next stage of evolution where humans, we have now figured out how to duplicate ourselves artificially. we've already duplicated the intelligence part. It's pretty much as smart as the average human, they say. In a couple years, it's going to be smarter than all the humans combined. So that's what we call artificial intelligence. Hope the audio is good on this thing. And the other part of that is, okay, we've duplicated our intelligence. We've essentially recreated a brain, the computer part of it. How do we recreate our bodies? Well, that is what we're working on right now. They're called humanoid robots. Have you heard of them? So, once we figure out the perfect humanoid robot that can do any physical thing that we can do as well, that's when the economy really, that's when the world really starts to fucking hit the next gear. Because where does an economy come from? Where does wealth come from? From labor. So eventually, just think about this. We're gonna have factories that are building humanoid robots. And then those humanoid robots are going to be building their own factories that build themselves. And then they're gonna make enough that builds another factory that builds themselves. And they're eventually gonna be completely operated by themselves. A bunch of robots building factories that build robots, that build factories that build robots. And I just thought of this the other day. They're eventually gonna have their own little factory cities that are completely building themselves. Because what we've created is fake humans. So that, I hope this is unlocking your imagination. So, okay, so we have fake humans that can duplicate themselves, and then they can make factories to make everything that we're making now. And we've already seen the robot revolution in factories for decades and decades and decades. It's less people, less real people, and more robotics. That's why Amazon and Tesla and all the big companies are focused on AI and robotics. And so what is this going to look like? Well, essentially, the cost of goods will come down because the cost of making things will come down so far. Because a robot person can work for, it's obviously a fraction of the price, and they can work 24/7. They can work all night. They don't need holidays. They don't need weekends. And think if you're a company and now you don't have to pay nearly as many humans. You have all these robot workers. What I'm getting at is production is going to reach the next level. And what I was saying to my dad is, like, if we don't believe this is going to happen, it kind of already has happened to level 1. That is, we already live in an abundant society. Us here in the West, we throw away food every day. We throw away tons of food. We throw away tons of clothes. We throw away tons of shit. So we already live in the age of abundance here in the West. We have plenty more than we need. We're fat, an abundance of food, an abundance of clothes, an abundance of energy. But where we're going over the next generation, 10, 20, 30 years, is it's just going to hit the next level of abundance. And the abundance that we have in the West That's going to now be available, well, eventually in the next coming decades. I need to press this on it. It's going to be available to developing countries. And that is a synergistic effect. When developing countries all of a sudden are consuming a lot more, all of South America, all of Africa, all of Southeast Asia is now consuming as much as we do in the West. That leads to even more consumption. And then they're gonna have their own robot factories producing even more and more and more. And this is what Elon Musk talks about when he's saying, this guy fixing his truck. When Elon Musk says sustainable abundance for all, that's the new mission of Tesla. Sustainable abundance for all. I'm basically explaining the whole Elon Musk Tesla master plan. That's what I'm explaining. And that's what's gonna happen. If you just think about it. And that's why their focus is the AI and the humanoid robots. That's why Elon Musk says the humanoid robot will be the biggest product ever. Yes, because it's a person. That's why people are the most expensive parts of a business. Because we are, if you want to think of us like a product, we are the best products. Us fucking humans. We can do all types of shit. Mentally, physically. What if we could duplicate a human? Oh my God. And so, once we're there, it's just up to your imagination. We enter the age of imagination. In the physical world, we've already entered the age of imagination in the digital world. Anything on a screen, anything digital, AI can make that. And we're already seeing that every day now. You can create anything in your imagination digitally on a screen. The next step is when we have artificial humans entering the labor force. And it's just gonna mean we're gonna produce even more than we do today, and we're gonna be able to consume even more than we do today. And part of this is going to be figuring out energy. Now that may end up being the bottleneck, which is why all of these big companies are focusing on building their own solar farms and their own nuclear power plants and shit. It may end up being that energy is the actual bottleneck of all of this, but I predict that AI will figure it out. We already have nuclear, we're just gonna keep that going. And once we hit the point in society where we have super cheap energy and tons of humanoid robots, then we're gonna enter the next level of age of abundance. I got this book, it's called Abundance, in like 2012 by Peter Diamandis, and I've been following him on YouTube since 2012. So this is nothing new for me. I've been following this stuff on YouTube for over 10 years. The Peter Diamandises, the Ray Kurzweils. Ray Kurzweil, he's the super genius inventor that invented the first text-to-speech back in the 70s, and he predicted back in the 70s that with Moore's law of technology advancing, that by 2045, we're going to hit what's called the singularity, where computing power will be so vast that There's no predicting what will happen next. There's no way we can know. Like a black hole, like a singularity in a black hole. That's why he called it the singularity. So maybe the singularity will happen. That's when artificial super intelligence is so smart, maybe it wakes up and becomes sentient, and maybe some people merge with it and fucking blast off into the universe. Who the fuck knows? It's just up to your imagination at that point. But what really smart people are saying and hoping is, the hope is we enter into the next age of abundance where goods and services are super cheap for everyone in the West and all around the world, and we can have essentially anything that we want. This is coming from Elon Musk, the smartest man in the world, one of the smartest, if not the smartest. This is what he's saying publicly in all of his talks. But this is nothing that I didn't know already. I already knew this from the book Abundance in 2012. Smart people have already known that this is coming, and this is where technology is going. And this is what technology has been doing already for the past many, many decades. It's been creating vast wealth, creating all this abundance that we have. It's just going to continue to accelerate, essentially. All right, now to the big conundrum. What about our jobs? What about our jobs? When robots are taking all the jobs, what do we do? Well, it's a very, very good question. And I'm thinking about this a lot. And, well, one short answer is, what do people do today when they retire? Just think about that for a sec. Oh, yeah, they go travel, work in their garden, do hobbies. So it could end up, it's going to depend who you are. Some people, I think, will not have to work. I think some sort of UBI will happen because it's going to have to happen. It's going to have to happen. And so in the future, it will kind of be optional to work and build wealth for yourself. But there will be so much wealth, essentially, so much abundance oozing from the world, oozing from society, because we now have a world that autonomously produces 24/7, 365. That whether the UBI comes from the government or when you work for a company, like you only have to work 2 days a week, or you only have to work for 10 years and then you get lifetime retirement. However the details work out, essentially, there's a Waymo. Yep. Essentially, in theory, the robots are going to be working for you, and we're not going to need to do the menial task jobs like the convenience stores or the truck drivers or it goes on and on and on. And so what are we going to do with our time? Well, what do retired people do? They do whatever the fuck they want. So what are you going to be able to do? What are people of the future going to be able to do? Whatever the fuck they want. Now, what do people today do when they are living off? I mean, we already have this. We already have Social Security and unemployment unemployment income and disability income from the government. So we already have that today, and they live on a very, very minimal amount per month that they get that they can live and survive. So we already have that. But I think in the future, it's just going to be the whatever. Let's say the unemployment, or let's just say unemployment pay right now is $2,000 a month. In the future, it will essentially be $10,000 a month, because that will be the purchasing power. Let's say it remains at 2,000, but the purchasing power of $2,000 a month, you'll be able to get. Things will be so cheap. Food, clothes, things. This will all be made in robot factories, and it will be so cheap. So essentially, you won't need to work if you don't want to. If you want to get rich, then yeah, you can work. But if you want to just live in a middle-class house, in an average house, just like this one, just a nice home, basic setup, you'll be covered. There's plenty of production. So if you just want to do your own thing, whatever that may be, some people are going to do healthy things with their time. Some people are going to do unhealthy things with their time, just like they do now. Some people on unemployment are sitting at home, smoking weed, playing video games. Cool. Some people are going to continue to do that, and that's fine. Some people on unemployment today are working hard to get out of that. Right? It's going to be the same. And so this is why Elon Musk, he says, yeah, man, my biggest worry is the crisis of meaning. Where are we going to find purpose in our lives? That's what he's already thought of all this shit, bro. I'm just trying to catch up. I'm just trying to catch up on the thought process and put this all together. He's obviously thought about this way more than me or you, or maybe anyone. But if you start putting the dots together, you go, oh yeah, that's where all this is headed. In our lifetimes. By the time I'm my parents' age, in 35 years. Oh, hey, little puppy. Look at that little dog. Oh, it's nice being in America. So, I think that's still a couple decades away. But we've already seen over the last 5 years, AI start taking jobs. And it's just going to continue to take more jobs. It's just going to continue, and continue to take more jobs. And then it's going to take more jobs. And then it's going to overtake more jobs. And then it's going to overtake more jobs. And it's going to continue to go up over time. And the Uber drivers are already starting to drop very slowly right now, but over the next years it's going to start to drop slowly. Less human Uber drivers, more robot Uber drivers. With fast food, it's already happening. McDonald's, many stores are starting to convert to robotic, automated inside. The standard McDonald's is 20 employees. This new robotic setup is 5 employees. So someone was saying on a podcast, how many fast food jobs there are in America? It's millions. It's millions and millions and millions. So fast food, restaurants, retail, any entry-level job, really. Those are going to slowly get plucked. And the other kind of elephant in the room is there going to be mass unrest? I think there is. There's going to be. I think there's going to be mass unrest, mass protests, because initially it's going to be hectic and confusing. It's like, where do all these entry-level workers, what do they do? Because we're not going to have this whole UBI's thing set up. It's going to take a while. So there could be a huge crisis. And this is not what Elon Musk says. Maybe he thinks it, but doesn't say it publicly. This house is cool. There could be, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a huge crisis. Because that's like the worst possible thing that can happen to you is there's no job. You have no job. There's no jobs. The job market is shit. Robots are taking all the jobs. So it's going to be, I predict this, it's going to be a mass civil unrest. It's going to start here in the West because the AI and the robots are going to be first here in the West. And then there's going to need to be some correction or some UBI rolled out in some way. But yeah, I think it could get rocky. I mean, this has happened throughout history. When XYZ, when cars were invented, the horse people that drive horses, they were out of jobs, and there was unrest when automation came into factories. Lots of factory workers were laid off, and then there was a big revolution, and then there was kind of a reset, a big correction or whatever, and it would take a while for them to find the new jobs. Now there very well may be tons of new jobs created, like we're going to need a lot of robotic operators. There may need to be a lot of people that work with AI, or but there may be whole entire industries that we're going to need jobs for. But the way that I think about it, it's like if you are a entry-level worker, you're not going to be needed anyway. If you're not like super smart, and if you're not super educated and experienced and smart, essentially, if you're not a high performing fucking human, then the robot is better than you at anything, right? If you're a McDonald's person flipping hamburgers, you're not educated and you're not smart, then you then you have no use in society, because the robots are literally, as they come off the factory, better, smarter than you. That's what we're doing. That just is what it is. And so maybe, I'm just thinking this out loud right now, maybe in the future school will be different. Like people will stay in school until stay in school longer. I don't know. Everyone does school until they're 30, or everyone stays in school their whole life and we just learn. Maybe they'll start teaching AI, in elementary school, and how to operate robots in elementary school, and we'll have to shift the whole society from learning skills to learning critical thinking and how to use AI and robots. Who the fuck knows? But essentially, in theory, and that's what I tell all my VAs and stuff, it's like, if you're not an expert in AI, if you're not a high level expert in something, you're just going to be replaced. All these low level workers are just going to be replaced, unless only the people on the very top, like the me's, like the hopefully yous, only the smartest people and the most talented and the most well-equipped and the most experienced people, we're going to have all of these AIs and robots to work for us, essentially. And all the uneducated low-level workers are going to be replaced by these other low-level workers, but they are way cheaper and they can work 24/7, 365. I think Elon Musk was saying like the cost of a humanoid robot will be around the cost of a car, but actually cheaper. It's maybe like $20,000, or you can lease one for $1,000 a month. It can walk your dog. It can come film me, hold the camera for me. It can come to me to the basketball court outside, and it can pass me the ball back. Now we're probably still 5-10 years away from the ultimate iRobot human. It's all about the hands. Apparently, Elon Musk says, oh yeah, the hands are 80% of the problem. But once they figure that out, it's gonna get real funny. And so I wonder, like, because I'm just thinking about right now, like in 10 years, 20 years, who gives a fuck? How many humanoid robots am I gonna see on this street? Like walking around, walking dogs, and like will there be like free ones that are like not working, but they just kind of wander around and talk to you, and they're free? What does even that mean? Like, because like we will definitely be able to walk up to them and have a conversation, just like I'm having a conversation with a human. But what I think initially right now is if you own one, you'll be able to toggle through different personalities, toggle through different modes, fun mode, and you'll be able to like put any personality into it. Like, oh yeah, be like Bert Kreischer, be a funny drunk person, or be a holy shit. We'll be able to put in personalities of our dead ancestors. Be my grandma's personality. Boop. Have her voice. Boop.
Oh, there is. Yeah. It's pretty silly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So the last time we going through this, like this, like it looks like an old thing. It's legit.
Am I in the right place? Anyways, we'll be able to have best friends. Like, I'm wondering, like, how do we travel with them? Right? Like, are we gonna pack our humanoid robots in these little, like, little suitcases and check them in on planes, and then when we get to the airport, boom, we take it off the baggage claim, boop, it unfolds and it's fucking your C-3PO walking around with you, and it gets your luggage, and it's your assistant. It's a foldable human. God damn. No wonder Elon Musk is saying it's gonna be the biggest product in history. Yeah, it's a human. Would you like your own personal assistant? That's physical in the physical world. It can be home cleaning, or it can be your companion walking the dog with you, or it can be filming you. Man, we're really entering the age of, oops, slight left. The age of imagination, really. Let's walk through this park here. Oh yeah. Nice little covered basketball court right here. Just 2 days in Austin so far, but I mean, Austin, it's the closest thing you're gonna get to like a Bali in the US. Meaning like it's a little paradise of like fitness focused people and like entrepreneur, digital creator, internet type people. A little engineered paradise of transplants. People move there in order for the community, for the fitness focused, for the tech and online entrepreneur type focus, for the creative podcasty type people. That's what Bali is, and this is the version in the US. Now, obviously, Austin is going to be at least 2 to 3 times more expensive. Bali, you're looking at comparatively, let's just say half. Let's just say half the price comparatively, but probably a third. If you compare apples to apples, like the type of condo you're in this middle of town, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, so do you want to know the next step above that? Like where things are going the rest of this century. So by 2100. So what is the other thing that Elon Musk is doing? He's prepping to go to Mars. So obviously now that we know that we have tons of fake people, humanoid robots, those are going to be the ones that go to Mars, and they're going to be building their cities on Mars without people. They're going to be building their little cities. All we need to do is ship the supplies to them, but then eventually it's going to be self-sustaining, and these robots will be able to duplicate themselves and duplicate these little dome cities. So there's going to be dome cities on Mars within this century. There's going to be some people, but lots of robot people. And what happens the rest of this millennium until the year 3000? So as soon as they're ready to go to the next planet, they're going to go to the next planet. It's probably going to be some moons of Jupiter, like Europa and stuff like that. They're going to start exploring that. And these robot people are going to be able to do all of these missions by themselves. So we won't have to send humans on any of these things until we're totally ready and people want to go. They're going to be able to we're going to be able to fucking send a bunch of these robots off to the moon if they can figure out how to mine and build themselves out of the raw materials there, so we don't need to keep shipping materials. Then it's a self-replicating life form, and that's essentially the thesis of what we're creating. We're creating a new species. That's why I said that at the very beginning. Now, Elon Musk doesn't say that word, doesn't say species. And it's not necessarily a species. Technically, obviously, they're not biological, but it's akin to one. It's akin to one, because what is life? It's a self-replicating molecule. It's something that just self-replicates. Self-replicates, self-replicates. Now you could say, well, they can't do it on their own. They need us. Well, yeah, a virus can't self-replicate on its own. It needs a host. But at the end of the day, life is just a self-replicating pattern, self-replicating molecule. And we're creating a new artificial life form. But if you zoom out, nothing's artificial in the nothing's artificial hypothesis that I was explaining to my dad. Like, for example, an alien looking at Earth with binoculars, with the telescope, they're not going to call these robots artificial. They're just going to call it, oh, it's just part of what Earth produced. So whether you like it or not, whether anyone likes it or not, this is the next stage of evolution on Earth, on the universe. It's happening. There's no stopping it. Is it good? Is it bad? There is no good and bad. They're just what is. Every technology has its pros and cons. Just like the internet, just like fire, just like cars. A lot of people die from cars, but they're mostly great. You know? Cigars. A lot of people die from tobacco and cigarettes, but mostly they're good, but there's going to be some bad. You know? So, just like the internet, there's mostly good, but there's going to be some bad. And the same thing is going to be with AI and robots. It's going to be mostly good, but there's going to be some bad. And I haven't touched on the whole other next point, which will be the potential doomsday scenarios, the potential catastrophe scenarios. And there are various versions of those. Pick your favorite sci-fi movie, iRobot, Matrix, Terminator. There's plenty of movies that we've made already envisioning, imagining when technology and robots get to a certain place, there will be a war between humans and robots and how that will go. And that's just up to your imagination. So obviously the smartest people are working on and worrying about making sure that doesn't happen. It's not out of the picture. Because anything can happen. Who the fuck knows? I'm an optimist. I would say it's probably going to end up good. You know, that's what Elon Musk says. He says, well, probably 80% chance it's going to be great, but 20% chance it could be a catastrophe. You know, what if the robots, what if they eventually wake up and say, just do their own thing? Will they deliberately kill us? Will they just ignore us and do their own thing? Who the fuck knows? We're inventing a new species. It's a cool little raw organic juice bar. You see, this is what you see in Bali on every corner. You see the juice bars, stuff like that. And you know, so anyways, I do acknowledge that there is definitely, it's not out of possibility that it could be a doomsday catastrophe scenario. So that's the alien, that's the robots taking over, quote unquote. But the other big thing we need to watch out for is, do the government / companies take over in a totalitarian type situation? That's the other thing to keep an eye out, and I definitely acknowledge that situation. Now you could argue we're already in a totalitarian type surveillance state, that's the word. Google and Facebook and Amazon, they all have our data. Our data, we can be tracked. I can be tracked where I am right now. We can all be tracked where we are on our phones. The NSA surveils on what we say, and we already kind of live in this digital tentacles society. And it's probably going to continue. That trend is going to continue. I don't think we're going back from that. It's possible if humanity has a huge shift in its consciousness and its way of doing business, then we can maybe go back, but there would have to be a mass revolution for that to happen. You know, we already trust these big corporations to, yes, take my data and all this because it's so convenient what we can do with that. So as we go into the future, that trend is just going to be even more so. So Google and the Teslas and the Amazons, and they're just going to have even more data, and we're going to be even more connected to the fucking grid. And is that good? Is that bad? That's a philosophical debate. Right? Is it? I'm walking right now without having to worry about where to go because I have Google Maps in my phone. Now, in exchange for this very useful product, I give my location and my data and my ads and everything. So as AI comes in, we just gotta hope that there's plenty of movies about this situation as well. What's the movie called? Minority Report. We gotta hope that we don't enter like a Minority Report situation where policing is like predictive and you'll get arrested for things that you're about to do. But doing crime in the future, I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's already getting harder and harder because there's cameras everywhere, and there's just gonna be even more cameras everywhere, and there's gonna be AI in all the cameras. right? So it's going to be able to crunch even more data and figure out. So the world's already connected in the Internet of Things, and that's just going to be even more so. So essentially, the moral of the story here. Look at this smoke shop. The moral of the story is trends are going to continue. And they're going to just enter the next fucking level. And the next level is going to be accelerating. We're going to be accelerating into the next level of everything that we're already doing now. Just the next fucking gear. Look at this little thing here. Should I hop on a scooter? Anyways. I wanted to do one long walk to the gym. It's about like said it was like an hour walk. I'm like halfway there. Just to soak in the town, you know? But, you know, the classic stuff, it won't go away. You know, this old house is not gonna go away. Burritos are not gonna go away. Real people are not gonna go away. Sex with real people is not gonna go away. Now, are you gonna be able to have sex with a fake human? You can already do that. They're called sex dolls. And so is that product just gonna get better and better with technology, and eventually it will be a robot one that can like actually walk around and move and stuff? Yeah, that's coming. You'll be able to buy one, rent one, and will some people do that? Yeah. Some people will do that. Okay. That's great. You know, will some people get totally sucked into that? And it becomes their wife, and they only fuck with, you know, robot girlfriends. Yeah, some people are gonna do that. Just like some people today, they only fuck with sex robots. They only, you know, are in their room doing their thing. I mean, a lot of people today live in the digital world. They're in their room. They're playing video games. They got their sex robot. They got their video game girlfriend or their AI girlfriend. That's already today. And that experience will only get it'll only get better and more realistic and more pleasurable. The AI robot girlfriend that can suck your dick but is actually real. It actually feels real or even better than the real thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, this is going to be a thing. Will there be brothels that are all AI robots and you go in there and you can have fun, and are a lot of people gonna try it out? Okay, maybe once or twice and be like, okay, well, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. Are a lot of people gonna get sucked into only doing that and like, fuck real girls? This fucking AI robot is way better. Why would I get a real person girlfriend? Yeah, it's gonna happen, and everything in between. But most people, I think, not. Just like today, most people are not stuck in their video game world and stuck in their rooms. Most people are normal people. You know, like today, anyone can go try out a prostitute. Do some people get sucked into prostitutes and addicted to prostitutes and that's all they do? Yeah. Do most people just try it once or twice and then go back to normal life? Yeah. In the future, it's just going to be the same thing. Unless even if AI figures out how to matrix ourselves, so how to plug in to our brains, where we go into a video game essentially that feels like it's actually real life, then that would be very, very compelling. And that would probably suck a lot of people in. Is it gonna suck most people in? No. But that would be very compelling for a lot of people, because if you can go into a world where you're the king and you have 50 virgin girlfriends and you can do anything you want and you're in a Matrix world, I mean, there's been plenty of movies about this, Black Mirror episodes, then that'll be very compelling for people who don't have great lives in real life. Will that be possible to fully plug in your brain? I don't know. I'm skeptical. Initially, I don't think that's possible. But it's not. I wouldn't rule it impossible. I will be very, very surprised if in the future we figure out the matrix, how to completely plug in. But who the fuck knows? That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing with artificial superintelligence, is we don't know what can come out of the other side. Because we've never had artificial superintelligence, and the nature of artificial superintelligence is it's smarter than us. So how the fuck are we gonna know what it knows and what it's gonna do? That's the whole conundrum here. And all I know is you gotta still keep going to the gym until you die, until you're 90. All right, you gotta still be healthy and limit the junk food, limit the sugar and the seed oils, and limit the junk food. So gotta still be healthy. You gotta still be a good person.
Wait to cross Fifth at Pleasant Valley.
Right? You still gotta take care of your family and your friends and your kids, and still be you. You gotta still do all the basics. It's just gonna be a very futuristic world here coming up. And just yesterday, I had my very first physical interaction with a futuristic robot situation. This is August 21st, 2025. Today is August 22nd. Tomorrow's my birthday, August 23rd. Turning 36. And by the time my age doubles, when I'm 72, oh man. I mean, all we can hope is that more people are gonna be able to travel. More people are gonna be able to live their dream. I mean, look at what we're doing already right now. We already live in a free, abundant society where if you work and you educate yourself, you can make money and you can travel the world and live your dream. That's what I've been doing. Traveled around the world many times. And so I hope that technology will continue to make the world better and continue to allow more people to live their dream and check off more of their bucket lists. Because I think the cost of travel is going to go way down when the cost of energy goes way down. So more people are going to be able to travel the world. More people are going to be able to travel around the US because of driverless cars. You're going to be able to fall asleep in the back of your Tesla Cybercab and then wake up in New York or wherever. More people are going to be doing road trips. It's going to create all the awesome stuff we have now, just even more. And is that not what everyone wants? Just more. Everyone's gonna have more money, basically. Yeah. But there are risks, and no one really knows what the fuck's gonna happen. But I think 9 out of 10 humans are awesome people, really great people. And I think because of that, good ends up prevailing. So, damn. I think that's enough for today. And to the 5 people who watched till the end, you're a real one. And let's see how far I am to the gym. Woo! Hour later, just did an hour of sauna. And there's the gym right across the way. It's the outdoor gym. Anyways, whoa. 3 rounds of sauna and cold plunge, feeling amazing. How much does this cost? This gym, outdoor gym, CrossFit style, $115 a month. This satellite sauna and cold plunge box, that is $75 a month, or you can do both for $170. So I paid $170 for a month for both of those. Compared to Bali, yeah, it's similar prices for the nicest gyms in Bali. You're looking at $100 a month, but that includes the cold plunge and the sauna and recovery area, whole recovery area, pool. I mean, you still can't beat Bali, bro. I mean, I'm sure there's some other like really fancy gyms here in Austin, but you still can't. Bali is still the best venues, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm open to hear. I mean, I'm sure the nicest, most bougie gyms here are like probably $300 per month. In Bali, maybe. I mean, what's the one in Bali that's $200 per month? It's can't even think of it right now. Nirvana is all in $200 a month, unlimited, but it's like one of the nicest gyms in the world. Anyway, I'm gonna Uber. Right, I hope it's a. Oh no, it's not. It's not a Waymo. It's a fucking Ricardo. God damn it.